All right, Donald Trump has just penned an additional executive order demanding the release of the remaining declassified documents regarding the JFK assassination. Let's take a look at it.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
So there it is, the order that demands the release of the remaining JFK files regarding the assassination. The question is, do you really think this is going to happen? And if they do you think that some of the documentation has been lost by the FBI and the CIA in order to continue to, some people say cover up what's really going on? Do you believe the official story? How many Americans left, percentage-wise, do you actually believe what the government tells you about the JFK assassination? The last secret files about the assassination of JFK can now be published after President Donald Trump on Thursday ordered the declassification of all remaining documents about the 1963 murder. And why haven't they done it already? That's a good question. If the government was interested in transparency, I know the excuses made, especially by Mike Pompeo and others, that, hey, this is an issue of national security, and if we release these documents, we could put the United States on the global chopping block. It wouldn't be good for us. Is that really true? Is it? Conspiracy theories continue to swirl 60 years after the killing. And any new information will excite the amateur sleuths who continue to wonder whether there is more to the story than just one lone gunman in the shape of Lee Harvey Oswald. This is from the Daily Mail. Trump signed an executive order that directs his director of national intelligence, which may well be Tulsi Gabbard, to put together a plan within 15 days for the full release of documents about the JFK assassination. Trump says that's a big one. Everything's going to be revealed. The question is that true? The executive order obtained by Daily Mail said more than 50 years after the assassination of President JFK, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the federal government has not released to the public all of its records related to those events. Their families and the American people deserve transparency and truth. It is in the national interest to finally release all records related to these assassinations without delay. So we're talking about 60 years on from this tragic national global event that shook everybody to the core. Do you think that those original documents are going to remain intact? Do you think they're going to be heavily redacted like we've seen in the past? His intelligence chiefs will have 45 days to put together a plan to release the RFK and King archives. Millions of pages of JFK documents have already been released, leaving only a few thousand kept in the archives. I really wonder about the validity of all this and the accuracy and the truthfulness of it. The most recent releases include CIA cables and memos recording visits by Oswald to the Cuban and Soviet embassies in Mexico City weeks before the assassination, and experts doubt there are any major revelations lurking in the archives that would change the accepted version of events. Trump promised during his re-election campaign that he would declassify remaining government records surrounding the assassination. He made a similar promise in his first term, but gave way to the CIA and FBI, who argued that some documents should be kept from the public for fear they would reveal national security secrets. Then those are the ones that you would redact, and everything pertaining to who actually did it, how they did it, what the motivations were, can be released to the public, but they don't even release those. Trump teased his plan during a Fox News interview with Sean Hannity on Wednesday evening. I'm going to release them immediately. We're going to see the information. We are looking at it right now. So he ends up doing it. Trump said he was persuaded by Mike Pompeo, his former CIA director, not to release them during his first term.
When I was a cadet, what's the cadet motto at West Point? You will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. I was the CIA director. We lied, we cheated, we stole. It was like we had entire training courses.
And Trump says, I was actually asked by Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, not to, and I felt he knew something that maybe, when he asked you not to, you sort of say why. And he felt that it was not a good time to release them. Why didn't you just say, Mike, why? And then Mike gives you the answer, and then you tell the American people what Mike's answer was, and then you put it up for kind of a debate and just let people know, hey, this is what he said. Should we still release him? What do you think? The hidden records allowed conspiracy theorists the freedom to speculate on what might be hidden. Because there was a lot of stuff that looked really wacky and wonky and wrong, and it looked like they were lying and covering up and hiding. And then Jack Ruby comes on the scene, and then he's got connections. And there's all these people, and then you got George Bush Sr. on the scene. And you've got Lee Harvey Oswald, who looked like, it might not have just been a one-man job. It looks like he might have been set up. Was Oswald in the pay of the Cubans and Soviets? Was he a patsy? Why did nightclub owner Jack Ruby shoot him dead on live TV? The new executive order signed by Trump in the Oval Office says, quote, I have now determined that the continued redaction and withholding of information from records pertaining to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy is not consistent with the public interest, and the release of these records is long overdue. So leave your thoughts about this. What do you think? When they get released, if they get released, do you think they're going to be released in full? Do you think they're going to hold some stuff back? The stuff that does get released, are they going to redact it? Are you going to see all these black lines through everything to where it's like, yeah, gee, thanks for releasing it. We don't have any more information now than we did. What information, if they left it intact, what information do you think would be included in the government notes and the records and the documents as they were trying to, some say cover it up. Some say cover up the truth. So what do you think really happened? Who do you think really did it? What is the level of involvement of a Lee Harvey Oswald and a Jack Ruby? Was there organized crime involved in this? What was the whole issue? Why did it have to do with JFK's Executive Order 11110 dealing with the Federal Reserve and sound money and silver certificates? Why do you think he was offed? Who do you think did it? What level of involvement do you think the CIA and federal government had in it? And do you think that this release of the documents, the JFK documents, will actually do any good or shed any more light on a situation that's basically been dormant for the last 6 decades? Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, grab a shirt, become a channel member, but more importantly, understand that freedom is dangerous. Your rights are precious. The only thing more dangerous than having dangerous freedom is not having freedom at all. I will see you in the next video.